Florence, I'm looking at your work here in Photoshop and, you know, on my monitor, which might look a little different from yours, I understand. Mine's color calibrated. Um, let's see. Uh, Assignment 2 looks really good. Gee, I like the top right set particularly. Assignment 3 looks good also, and I can see what you're seeking to do here. Um, let's see. On the left, in the right half, I think that your background could be a little bit darker to let this swatch look a little lighter, but on the whole you're on the right track there. Now I see also especially how the theory is being used in the right set. You're using a green backdrop to remove green on the left, and you're trying to add green with a magenta backdrop on the right. So I think there's a trouble that's a little similar to what we saw in the left set. Perhaps the right side swatch is looking a little bit dark. Heather, everything checks out to be accurate. Swatch is meant to match too. Let's see, boy, assignment 2 looks good. I enjoy the bottom left color set particularly. Now, in assignment 3, well, I see what you're up to with your left set. You're trying to subtract red and lighten the value on left, and you're trying to add orange on the right. However, the question is it working? On my monitor, I don't see a perfect match, although they've been made to look more similar. I agree. So, what can you do? Well, if the theory is not working out, try another tactic or change your colors for the swatches, for example. Now, looking to the right side set, well, it seems to me that if you had a magenta backdrop on the left half of that, things might work a little better, because what you'd want to do is add green to the center color, right? Because you've got a sort of cyan green on the right. Well, hello, Nicole. Your assignment 2 checks out well. All colors that are meant to match too. This is a neat presentation. Perhaps the top right set is an especially interesting one. Now, with assignment 3, well, I'm not sure. Maybe you built this from scratch without use of a template. I'm not certain why the swatches on the left set aren't centered, and that is something that you can manage pretty well with guides if you're building this from scratch. And keeping all variables constant is advantageous here. We want color to be the only thing that changes. Now, let's see. Looking at the left set, I'd say on the right, I'd choose a background of red perhaps and try color subtraction there. I don't know what the magenta is doing. It might be removing magenta, but then I don't think that's what you'd want to be doing, nor would you want to be adding green. On the right side, things look pretty good. My only suggestion might be, per how I see things on this screen, to make the left backdrop darker, lightening the look of the center swatch there. Hi, Kimberly. I'm taking a look at your assignment number 2, and we've got some color mismatch issues here. In top left, the set is just right. The 2 center swatches match exactly. But in the others, for instance, in the bottom right, I think we can see obviously that the center swatch colors are not the same, and to make this experiment work, center swatch colors need to be identical. Now, looking down to your assignment 3, well, on my screen, your left set looks fantastic. Let's see what's going on right. I think you're using color subtraction, which is certainly one of the theories available. The matter with this assignment is it takes a lot of tinkering. You try one theory and then you modify your idea, and then you try another theory and you keep tinkering in something that really jives. And what I'd say here is maybe try using the complement of the color you want to add as your backdrop on the right. So if you want that swatch to look more orangey, choose the complement of orange or maybe even just a complement of yellow as your backdrop there. Hi Yolanda, I think I've seen these examples before. Did you take a look at what I wrote to you in the drafts review? Now with assignment 2, the problem is the 2 center swatches in each set must be the same, even though we're trying to get them to look different. And in assignment 3, well, mostly that's okay. I still need you to go back and look at the drafts review. One thing I'll say there is that the center swatches you're working with are too different from each other. Trisha, looking at assignment 2, things look good. My favorite of your sets is the bottom right one. Looking at things here on my screen. Now, let's see. Assignment 3, the right set looks great. What about the left set? My impression is that the right side green swatch is looking a little dark, and the remedy for that would be to let the backdrop be lighter in value. Hello Tara, looking at this assignment 3, I'm sure you did not view the lesson that I assembled for the class. And to view that you need Flash Player, which is probably already on your computer, but if it's not, it's a free download, so I encourage you to get that. Hi Jacqueline, all of your colors that are meant to match do. I kind of like your bottom left set in assignment 2. Let's see, with assignment 3, well, I'm looking at this in Photoshop and my monitor is calibrated, but that's not to say I'm seeing exactly what you're seeing. So I'd say that in the left set, the 2 center swatch colors are awfully similar to make this experiment worthwhile. Now, on the right side, they're quite a lot different, and I can see the theory that you're trying to employ. It seems as though you're seeking to add magenta by putting the swatch on left on a green backdrop, and on right, you're trying to add maybe cyan and make the swatch look less saturated. Now, this is an assignment that takes a lot of tinkering and toying. Just trying out one theory and saying, well, that's that, doesn't usually give you the results. You need to fine-tune things. You need to try different tactics, experiment with different colors for swatches, for example. So while you've used the theory, I don't think you've used it as successfully as you might. One thing I might suggest is letting that green backdrop be a little less saturated. In other words, let it be some sort of tone of that green to enable the center swatch to look more saturated. Amy, things look pretty good with your assignment 2. Colors that are meant to match do, and I do see a color shift too. There might be a little outline around a couple of those center swatches that is symptomatic of a template that's falling apart after multiple color changes. Now, assignment 3 looks quite good. I'm a fan of the right side set. In the left side, I think the right half there needs to show the center swatch being lighter, and the way to do that would be to let the backdrop go darker. O'Neill, your work is accurate. Colors that are meant to match do match physically according to RGB values. Now remember, in assignment 2, the goal is to let the colors look different based on different backdrops. So I think the place where you were achieving that best is in the bottom left set. Now, with assignment 3, on right, things look good. I think you're able to use color subtraction successfully. On left, I think that you're a little confused about how to manage value. If you want that right side swatch to look darker, put it on a light background. Milana, good work on assignment 2. Maybe the bottom left set is a particularly nice one. In assignment 3, things look good. The right set looks great. I would say in the left set, try yellow or orange for the backdrop on the left side.